we have to understand the Lord commanded us to rid the leaven out of the house, right? So what is the house symbolize in spirit? Us.
First Corinthians, the 3rd chapter.
Yep, we get that too. Set thy house in order is basically rid the leaven, things that hold you back, things you know you need to work on. Mm-hmm. It's about time to get that in check.
That's right.
Things that may have rubbed brothers the wrong way about your particular, who you are. Some brothers get brought to counsel. Take that into consideration as the Lord speaking to you.
That's right.
When the Lord uses the men of the Lord to bring a judgment or come to you about maybe your conduct or whatever, that's the Lord saying something to you. So it's time to take those particular talks and even things you know about your own self. It's time to take those things serious because the Lord is about to move on this place. And the last thing you want to do is get caught up in the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai and left out there during these times of judgment.
Shalom. Shalom, Yesharala. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching 100% truth. Wa Barakatham, to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. May peace and blessings be unto your households. It's your brother Gadal from Great Millstone Dallas branch. And it's a quick lesson. We're just going to get into pretty much, purge out the leaven, man. Just getting that leaven out of out of your house, man. Right? As Elder Yashwan pretty much was making, that statement of, something that pretty much stuck out to me. I know I got things that I got to work on, but you can tell that like he was really stressing, like now it's the time to really like get on it. Considering the times that we are in, right? Like there's no better time to get, overcome whatever it may be that you're going through, or the leaven that you have within your body, your house that you got to get out, than now. Because you're just looking at the way Yahweh Bashim Shah is moving, like the last thing you want is to, like you pretty much said, man, get caught out there, man. Because you chose not to, purge out that leaven. Instead, you wanted to stick to being comfortable, man. And also Edom Michael Allah in his in the sit down that we did yesterday, because this was yesterday's sit down, Passover sit down. He also made a statement. Dang it, it's slipping me, Salakia. It is slipping me just now. That is Satan. Damn, he made a profound statement as well. What is it about? Well, I know what it's about, but it's like I forgot. But if it come back to me, I'll make mention of it. But I know Elder Mike Allah made a profound statement as well. But in other words, man, getting your house in order, getting that leaven out, working on the things that you need to work on, like getting that fixed, because there's, it could cost you your salvation. It could be the very thing that's messing up your conscience when it comes to Yahweh Bashim Shah, keeping you from being bold in Yahweh Bashim Shah that you must cut off. Right? This is Sirach. I'm going to get Sirach chapter 18, verse 20. It says, before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. So before judgment comes, you're supposed to examine yourself, making sure that you are right with Yahweh Bashim Shah to the best of your ability. Because, of course, we're not going to get it 100%, but we can do the best that we can. And the Lord is requiring more and more out of us as we get closer and closer to the end. Because that's exactly why, because we're getting closer to the end. Making sure you, like, Lord, getting you more and more on point. Right? That's what Elder Michael made mention of, being comfortable, man. Right? Because that leaven it could be that thing that the vices, that you run to, man, that you lean upon, whether it's eating, you start, you get too uncomfortable or whatever, you like, oh, you lean on that. That could be that leaven you got to get rid of, man. Them vices or whatever it may be that you lean on when shit gets tough, because you're not going to be able to do that really in a time of Jacob's trouble, like at its peak, meaning when it gets bad out here. Because we in Jacob's trouble already, but it's not like bad yet. You're not going to be able to just eat when you're, start eating more because, you're going through something, or drink more. You get the bottle, you're like, oh, I'm going through it, man. It's kind of a lot. Let me get some of that wine. Let me get some, strong drink. Nah, you're not going to be able to do that. Now, there's nothing wrong if you drink strong drink, then that's cool. But, like, to use it as a crutch to, like, because you're going through something, that's something that you got to work on. That's just an example. And we all got things within ourselves we know we got to work on, man. It might not be the drink. It could be something that's really not, bad. It could be something as simple as, playing a game or something, right? Stuff getting too tough, and then you hop on a game and all you want to do is just play the game. Nah, you shouldn't be like that. You should be like, nah, just tapping more. Speaking to myself first and foremost, tapping more into the spirit, man. Getting into the scriptures. Hell yeah, he made mention. Elder Makala made mention of that, man. Reading more, doing things that's pretty much more better for the spirit. We're in the times of doing that. Leaning upon that more instead of the things of the world more. That's part of getting that leaven out, man. Right? Because whatever that leaven is, man, it might not be, a sin. Oh man, according to the law, I ain't breaking the sin, but it's not, it's not, expedient for you. Though it's lawful, though this is lawful, it's not expedient, man. It might not be the best thing for you, right? And that's where that self-examination come in, man. You got to really examine yourself, because deep down, what you need to work on. What's like, damn, if I cut this off, then I know I'll be closer to Yahweh Shem Shai. Now you just got to take the step to do it. Understanding that, yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's, it's probably going to take some time. But if you keep fighting and keep praying unto Yahweh Shem Shai, then eventually you will overcome. It just has to happen eventually. Because if you keep your faith in the Lord, it will happen eventually. But you just have to keep fighting. And you do this to the best of your ability. I know. Shit, we know you ain't gonna be able to fight 24/7. You just straight, hey, Mike Tyson that thing 24/7. No, you ain't gonna be like that 24/7, right? You'll be able to, like, probably for a good part of it. You'll get a little tired, but you gotta get back up and get back into it. It happens. But we are in a time, as the elder Yashwamba said, man, of really like checking that and really getting rid of it, like now, type deal. I'm gonna get 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 6. It says, your glory is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump? Right? Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Hamashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. Exactly, man. Purge out that old leaven. Work on them things. Get rid of, really just get to the point, man. We just got to get rid of it. Because if you do, through the power of Spirit Yahweh Shem Shai, it's just going to increase you anyway. It's going to bring you closer to the Lord. You're going to get more of that faith. You're going to be able to be more bold in that day. You're going to have even more clear conscience. It's just, the thing is, you don't want to do it because it's comfortable to the flesh. It makes you feel good when shit's getting tough. But nah, man. And we all got that. Like, the elders got stuff like, the elders got that. Apostles got things they got to work on. They'll be the first to tell you that they got to work on something. They've been in it longer than anybody. So if they saying that, we damn sure got stuff to work on. You know, I ain't been there no 40 plus years. I ain't even got 10. So, yeah, I got a long way to go. But you do what you can a day at a time, right? You ain't got to do it all at once, man. You know, but you do it at a day at a time, and, you know, ultimately just taking it serious. You know, doing all this to the best of your ability, man. Right? We're not going to get 100%, but we can do the best that we can, man. Speaking to myself first and foremost. You know, purging out that leaven, man. You know, doing things, leaning onto the things that's beneficial to the spirit. Reading, studying, doing videos as well as watching videos. Right? And another thing that they may mention in the, Elder Yashwamba as well as Apostle Cobb made mention in the sit down yesterday. Like, you know, it's good doing the videos and stuff, but, you know, it's more than just like, you know, doing videos. You know, you gotta make sure you know what you're good outside of doing your solo lessons or just going to camp, which is a beautiful thing, you know, if you know, for you to do these things. But, you know, what's outside of that looking like? Are you meditating on the Lord? Or you know, even trying to do better? Or you just out being a nigga, man? Right? Are you trying to offend less? Or ultimately, are you fearing Yahweh Bashem Shai? And you know if you are, and you know if you're not. Right? Because guess what? It could be a time where you are, and it's also could be a time when you're not really fearing the Lord like that based off of your actions. You know? So, yeah, you know, as the Elder beautifully said, man, we in the time to really like seriously look at that now because of the times we are in. Not because we got 20 more years, 30 more years, 10 more years, and even then they probably say the same thing, but it's more like urgent now because we're here. You know what I'm saying? It's more urgent now. They've always said, you know, work on yourself, getting that leaven out, but it's really more urgent now because the Lord is moving. You know? But anyways, you know, that's all I really had through spirit. I want to end it off by saying, Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until next time I say, Shalom, Yasharallah.